Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How does it get any better than this? So, don't you love when you're starting a live and you're literally talking to no one because they're telling your followers that you're starting a live and hi. Thank you for being here and welcome to Magic May. So what is Magic May? Every day except the days I forgot, which I forgot yesterday again. It's so interesting. It's like anyway, whatever. Because the tool today is no judgment, discrimination, or discernment. Okay, and this tool is from the 10 Keys to Total Freedom by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here. So if you comment Magic May, we'll send you a link that has, some of my most popular podcasts with lots of tools, etc. All the tools I'm talking about is from Access Consciousness. And it's like all the tools are pretty much designed to create freedom for you. Because I don't know about you, but for my whole life, I was like, this can't be it. I'd be looking at nature and the way the earth was, and I was like, this can't be it. This can't be it, Oh, by the way, a shout out to a brilliant, beautiful movie on Netflix called, what's it called? The Remarkable Creatures or something like that. It's got Sally Field in it and an octopus in it, and it's incredible. And it's a really beautiful film. So I highly recommend that. But that's the sort of thing. Like I was like, this can't be it. There's got to be so much more than the trauma and drama and the Dios mio and the, all of that, the judgment that we do, the judgment, the discernment, and the discrimination. I grew up with someone in my family who was quite racist. And as a kid, I don't know. I knew, but I couldn't make sense of why my parent, only one of my parents, was quite racist. And so every time she would talk about something, obviously my mother, every time she would talk about something, I'd go, oh, why? What did they do? What did these people do? And she would yell at me and say, why are you always arguing with me, etc. But I was like, but I don't understand why are we supposed to hate these people because of the color of their skin or the shape of their eyes? That's what I grew up with. I knew that there was something different, but I couldn't make sense because you look at your parents and you go, Ma, don't they know everything? No, they don't. What do you know? What are you aware of? So it was one of the things that I did grow up with. My father was not like that, but my mother was. But there was so much judgment, discrimination, and discernment within the household. How many of you have grown up with judgment, discernment, and discrimination around you? And then you start to think, oh, is that mine? Is that my point of view? What if it's not your point of view? And everywhere that you've brought it as your point of view, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, provids, creations, bases, and beyonds. Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, ladies and gentlemen. If someone wants to write it in there, we'll have it in the notes too. You can go to theclearingstatement.com and find out more about it. So the tool for today is the no judgment, discernment, or discrimination. And it's from this book, The 10 Keys to Total Freedom. So I'm just going to read a really small part here and then we'll talk about it. It says, as long as you're doing no judgment, no discrimination, no discernment, you can be an infinite being of perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving. And one of the things we talk about in Access is you are an infinite being. You're not finite. You choose finite. You choose limited. But you are an infinite being. And as an infinite being, you have the ability to perceive, know, be, and receive everything. So when you do judgment, discrimination, or discernment of any kind, you eliminate your capacity to be, know, perceive, and receive. Judgment is, I don't eat pork on Wednesdays. You're saying, any other time pork would be good, but I can't eat it on Wednesdays. That's your judgment. It's a conclusion you've come to. Now, one of the things with that too, I always call it, it's like the no choice universe, because so many people will go, oh, and I was a vegetarian for 8 years, but I also said the day that I want to eat meat, I'll start eating meat. And I did. I'm not saying eating meat is right or wrong, okay? I'm not saying plant-based diet is right or wrong. I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. What I'm saying is, can you please have the freedom to choose? So, and not lock yourself into something. Say if you're a vegetarian, instead of going to the judgment and the conclusion of what you do and don't do, what if you said, my body and I prefer not to eat meat today? or prefer not to have this today. Okay, it's a really basic example. You can take that into anything with money, business. I remember at one stage, many years ago, I was like, I don't do relationships. I can't see a good one. Why would I do one? Well, there's no question in that. It's just a whole bunch of conclusions. And when I realized it was a whole bunch of conclusions, I went, oh, well, what else is possible? As an infinite being, I have the ability to perceive, know, be, and receive everything. So what else is possible? And literally, I think it was like 5 days later, I met someone and ended up in an 8-year relationship with them. So there you go. If you have a point of view, a judgment that you are always poor, that you live from lack and scarcity, you will create that as your reality. What judgments, what discernment, what discrimination do you have around money that keeps you from having it? Everything at that is times of Godzilla where you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, perverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. Thanks for joining. This is Magic May, and we're doing the tool today from the 10 keys of total freedom. That is no judgment, discernment, or discrimination. So to continue what I was reading, discrimination is the way we try to create something as not quite right. And discernment is the idea that you must choose something. Discernment is, I don't like this, this is terrible. It's bad and it tastes awful. It's a milder form of judgment. It's like judgment light, For example, people talk about discerning taste. That's a judgment. Discerning taste means I judge that this is so. Discernment is a conclusion you come to. Choice and awareness are a possibility you become aware of. So basically, anywhere that you are using judgment, discernment, or discrimination, you're literally cutting off the possibilities that can show up for you. Wouldn't it be a much wiser, nicer, easier choice to choose? Choice and awareness are a possibility that you become aware of. And here's the way this works. Most people go, oh, I want to choose this, I want to choose that. I'm choosing blah, blah, blah. So interesting. I've just done 2 classes back to back and I'm a little fried. And I was like, but I would actually really like to do this Magic May now before I forget another one. So what I meant to say was create. Like, what do you think creation means? Okay. So many people look at, I'm creating this, I'm not creating that. They use create as the verb, as the noun, as the adjective. You know what comes first is choice. Choice comes first. What would you like to choose? As an example, because the tool today for Magic May, words, Simone, use your words. The tool for today, Magic May, is no judgment, discernment, or discrimination. How many of you wake up in the morning and you have this like litany of judgment about your body? Oh, thanks. I'm so glad you read. Yeah, one of my books is called Joy of Business, actually, and it's translated into 20 languages. It's the first book that I ever wrote. So if you haven't got it, you might want to check it out. I don't actually have a copy sitting on here, but yeah, I've got some in the house. How many of you wake up with this litany of judgment and you think that the judgment is going to change something? Judgment doesn't change anything. It just creates more of what you have. Like, have you ever judged, I don't know, you're too fat, you're too skinny, your boobs are too big, they're too small, your penis is too small, too big, whatever. Have you ever judged it and it's changed? What if you be in question and, hey, Coolid, nice to see you. I miss you too. I haven't seen you in ages. So what if you came out of judgment and you be in question, which is a lot of the tools I've been talking about throughout Magic May. If you start being in question, what else is possible? So say with your body, if you wake up and you judge your body, okay, what else is possible? Like, for a long time, I used to judge the size and shape of my body. And when I stopped judging, not completely. I don't think I know anyone who's completely stopped judging their body. But I stopped judging it so harshly, it started to change. And then I started judging the wrinkles and the aging. And I was like, oh, Simone, you can't do that. You can't just pass one button for the next. What if there was no judgment? What could I create with my body? And I notice as I come out of judgment, because I will judge, and then I go, okay, nope. As you come out of judgment, There's so much more that's possible beyond judgment. Are you willing to choose, because you choose a life beyond judgment? So the tool for today, Magic May, is no judgment, no discrimination, and no discernment. And like I said, it's from this book, The 10 Keys to Total Freedom. Live really close to a beach, Phrygian beach, and it's amazing how many surfers walk past. Usually they walk past just with board shorts and a surfboard and no shirt. It can get very yummy outside my office, and I just got a little distracted by some yumminess. That's okay. You can get distracted by yumminess. That's okay. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing, wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Have way too much fun, okay? What if the purpose of life is to have fun? Are you having any yet? All right. Mwah. Thank you so much. See you next time. Tomorrow. What would it take for me to remember? Tomorrow. Bye.